Imagine waking up to find a shimmering, multicolored arc stretching across the sky, not a rainbow, but Saturn's legendary rings crashing down to Earth. Would the planet be shredded apart? Could cities survive the bombardment? And what kind of global chaos would follow? Welcome to Ifology, the place where impossible questions meet scientific curiosity. If you're new here, make sure to hit like and subscribe. It helps us more than you know and motivates us to bring you more mind-bending content every week. Now let's get into it. Saturn's rings might look like a solid loop of rock and ice, but they are actually millions of individual particles, ranging in size from dust grains to mountain-sized chunks. These icy fragments stretch over 175,000 miles across, yet are astonishingly thin, about 10 meters thick on average. The total mass of Saturn's rings is estimated to be around 1.5 times 10 kilograms, a fraction of Earth's moon, but still enough to make an epic mess if dropped on our heads. So what would happen if somehow they collapsed and teleported directly into Earth's atmosphere? Let's say, in our wild scenario, Saturn's rings destabilize due to a cataclysmic event, a gravitational wave, alien technology, or quantum malfunction, and the entire structure gets sucked through a cosmic wormhole and begins descending toward Earth. As the first fragments of ice and rock hit Earth's upper atmosphere, we'd see what looks like a global meteor storm, except way bigger. Tens of millions of objects would light up the sky, turning night into a burning, chaotic daylight. Some pieces would vaporize in the atmosphere, but the larger ones, especially those boulder-sized or larger, would plummet straight into the ground. Impact zones? Everywhere. Crater formation? Global. Skylines? Erased. But the damage wouldn't be uniform. Most of Saturn's rings are made of ice, so some particles might melt or sublimate before hitting the ground. Yet, even with some atmospheric burnup, enough debris would survive to cause catastrophic damage across continents. As debris rains down for hours, maybe even days, it would trigger massive forest fires, structural collapse, and widespread dust clouds. The impacts would send aerosols and particulate matter high into the stratosphere, blocking sunlight and causing global cooling, a mini ice age. Plants would struggle. Crops would fail. The food chain? Disrupted. And if larger ring fragments landed in oceans, we'd get mega tsunamis reaching coastlines within minutes and flooding major cities. What about satellites and space stations? Destroyed instantly. Our global communications would go dark. GPS would fail. Flights would be grounded. This would be the most intense meteor storm in human history, except it wouldn't be random. It would be Saturn falling from the sky. But that's just the beginning. Because as the larger, denser parts of the rings arrive, what is left of human civilization might be standing right in the line of fire. Could we adapt? Could humanity survive the long-term climate effects? And would anything about Earth ever be the same again? While smaller debris caused immediate destruction and wildfires, now comes the real extinction-level threat, the heavier chunks of Saturn's rings. Some of these could be several kilometers wide, comparable to the object that wiped out the dinosaurs. If just one of these hit Earth, the explosion would unleash energy equivalent to millions of nuclear bombs, creating a global shockwave. Massive earthquakes would ripple across tectonic plates. Tsunamis could span entire ocean basins. And a dust cloud would envelop the planet, blocking out the sun for months, maybe years. Welcome to impact winter. Temperatures would plummet. Photosynthesis would grind to a halt. Animal populations would collapse, and humans? We'd be pushed to the brink of survival. Assuming humanity isn't wiped out in the first 24 hours, the struggle would begin. Crops would fail from the cold and lack of sunlight. Power grids, already damaged by impacts, would collapse. Internet? Gone. Satellites? Incinerated. Supply chains? Obliterated. Those who survive would rely on underground shelters, hydroponic farming, and maybe geothermal power. Governments might declare martial law to manage panic and dwindling resources. Nuclear tensions could rise over access to surviving fertile zones, but it wouldn't be all doom. The ice from Saturn's rings, if collected and purified, could become a massive source of fresh water. In the long run, scientists could study this extraterrestrial gift to better understand the solar system. If enough of us survive, let's dial back from sci-fi to science. Could Saturn's rings ever fall to Earth? In reality, no, not directly. Saturn is over 1.2 billion kilometers away, but the rings themselves are collapsing. NASA's Cassini mission confirmed that they reach slowly raining onto Saturn, losing tons of material every second. Within 100 million years, the rings might vanish entirely. So in a way, they are falling, just not toward us. But in theoretical physics, wild scenarios like wormholes, matter transporters, or artificial gravity manipulation could bring distant structures closer. So while it's extremely unlikely, it's not entirely impossible in the far, far future. Saturn's rings are one of the most beautiful features in our solar system. But if they ever turned against us, our skies would become a battlefield of fire and ice. In a single night, they could erase cities, drown continents, freeze the planet, and reset civilization. All from a structure that's been peacefully circling Saturn for hundreds of millions of years. Sometimes, the most breathtaking things in the cosmos hide the most terrifying potential. What do you think? If Saturn's rings really did collapse on Earth, could we survive the chaos? Would we find a way to adapt, or would nature reclaim the planet? Drop your wildest theories in the comments. We love reading what-if ideas from minds like yours. And if you want more insane science scenarios like this one, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and join us here at Ifology, where we ask the impossible and try to answer it with science. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious.